How's it?
I'm going to take your husband and fuck him 6 weeks from Sunday. Maybe when I'm done with him, you can have him back. If he wants to come back.
Dara.
This doesn't concern you. This is between me and your wife.
Bang, are you going to let her speak to me like this?
Oh, he can't help you. Now I take it that we will not need to have this conversation again.
You're average at best.
All right. Your access has been granted, like always. Yes. Welcome to this special broadcast, special edition here in the Chaos Reign channel. As you know, I go by the name Chaos Reign here. Tonight, as you see the thumbnail, as you see the title above, and it has been reached, unfortunately. Shit. Personally, guys, nothing surprised me as I look at it. Nothing really surprised me. Oh man. I'm just. I had the ideal that it was going to eventually happen, but God, I didn't expect it was going to happen this week. But I do expect there's going to be bigger change to come. Welcome, Chanel. I'll be dropping a link. I want to hear from the ladies, including you, Chanel. Shalom. Before I begin, please, if you are new to the Chaos Reign channel, or those that are new, welcome. Welcome to the Chaos Reign channel. And for those in the future, you know the drill. You know what to do. Please, and always, hit that red button and hit the top notification bell. Never hit the middle or low levels because you don't get enough from that. That's no good. It will not serve you. The top bell is where the party is at, like for uploads and live streams here in the Chaos Reign channel. Also, you can now follow me on Twitter at Chaos Reign 7. And you can now add me as a friend on Facebook, Eric Reign on Facebook. These are links. These are the links. And my, what a day. I'm trying to see here because I'm looking through certain links. So be mindful, people. I'm scrolling through my my thing right now before I begin. Did I miss anybody? I don't think so. Let me see. Yeah. All right. Just want to send one more thing. Perfect. Okay. I think that's all notifications that's been sent out. I don't know if I missed any. I don't think I did. Let me check. Make sure. And All right, so we can get this party started. All right, everything's sent out. So let me close some windows here and there. Oh, and make sure y'all come in. Please like the stream. I'll look at it periodically. Matter of fact, let me see if I have any other devices because I like to simulcast and look at things. So as I'm talking, I get the other computer set up. But that's pretty. Wait a minute. Okay. I got a message. All right. It looks like we're good. All right. So, what is on the menu for tonight? I'm glad you asked. Today's subject is titled Abortion Illegal Again. Now what? And when I mean now what, I mean it very loosely. Personally, we know what the drill is, what's going to happen, what's going on. As y'all know, and this is what I just came across, that I'm very disappointed because I did not know this part of history. And I might have to dig up for verification, but I'll leave it as it stands right now. From what I'm hearing, and this is just me now, that Roe v. versus Wade, even for the law itself to be made as a federal law in regards to abortion, was solely in responsibility of a white woman. And from what the story has left in the New York or some old newspapers back 49 or even go as far as close to 50 years ago, the legit thing is that she wanted abortion because she was pregnant by said black man. But at times, and this is what I can recall, that she could not get the abortion because back almost 50 years ago, you couldn't just walk in the clinic and get abortion like that. So one thing this lady has created, she had to tell a lie and say that she was raped by a black man. Yes, rape. We're not going to be lenient with the language tonight. We're going to go all in. So this is parental expression advice. So if you have children or your ears or you have virgin ears, please, you might not want to listen to tonight's broadcast. It's going to be very much loosely. There's going to be foul language, bad words, possibly. Because I'm very lit tonight. To find out this shit was all started because a bitch wanted to get rid of a baby by a said black man that I guess did not want her. Now, mind you, when miscegenation laws was struck in this country, back in 1967, and since then, even back then, and we could look at it now, it's ironic that the non-black woman, the Caucasus woman, it seemed to me she does not want to be getting knocked up by other groups of men, other race of men, maybe besides her own, which is her choice. But the question we ask, if it's so bad that you're going to be carrying a so-called seed of a non-white man, why waste time getting screwed by this non-said white man? Because of her actions and because she wants to still be accepted in her little circle of society, and maybe the possibility of having a white life, she has to tell a white lie. But she did get the abortion after things were with the courts and judge, where she had to take it in the highest form to make it happen. So all this bullshit of when the states decide to make it illegal for a woman to have abortion, say it was illegal, they struck it down in all 50 states up until the last 49 years till of this day, June the 24th, 2022. All this really encompass and start because a woman of color did not, or she choose not to want to have this child by this said black man. So, as you know, gentlemen, even throughout history, you are still used as that scapegoat for their bad behaviors. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. This is sad. Very sad. And now knowing this, it makes me question, why is still this black man still messing with a non-black woman? Now you can choose what you want to deal with if that's your choice. I don't advocate interracialism or swirling. I never have, never will, and I'm always going to stay firm in my convictions. Why I don't advocate, I don't push on my channel. And trust me, I be around people, ladies and gentlemen, that are people that's in around social media or wherever that has swirled out personally, from not only to the men but also to the ladies. And knowing this, I have to keep to myself, because let's be honest, for you as a person to go out your way and go outside your race, you got to be totally insane person at this point. You think if it serves a purpose and significance, you're sadly mistaken. But like I said, that's a little brief little history that I came across. Now I might have to go in and dig up more about this to find a timeline, the articles on this, because let's be honest, we never really look in the rabbit hole or deep into the rabbit hole of where this law really was created, why it was created, who are these characters, who are the opponents, who, what, when, where, and why. We don't ask these questions as people because we go by and say this law has been in effect because federal mandate for the last couple of decades. Okay, why? Who's the players who made this happen? Who's Roe v? Who's Wade? I never asked this. I never questioned this until I came across a particular today that did a little deep history about this. And because of this lady of color's actions, she has made it convenient for every woman in America to go and have what they call abortions. We're not going to call baby deletions, because that does not serve y'all today in this live stream. Matter of fact, most people, when they hear deletions, they don't know what the fuck that is. They think you pressing delete on the fucking keyboard. It's abortion, people. That's when people, you see the language they use on social media or YouTube. When they say deletion, they mean abortion, people. But we're not going to hold our tongues tonight. We're going to say what it is and call out what the fuck it is. Personally. So, on that note, let's look into a couple articles for more of the clarity. And make sure you like this stream. And as I'm looking on both ends, I will be looking. All right, where's this? Oh, here it is. Yeah, share. So I'm trying to find this. Where is the article? Supreme Court. We're going to go to CNN and we're going to look at a bunch of articles. We ain't going to play no videos. We're going to just do purely looking up and reading this in front hand. Let me do this. So I'm trying to scroll down. Where is my thing? Okay, I found it. Perfect. Let's begin. Supreme Court overturns Roe v. versus Wade. And you see the color of the states. Immediate, 30 days, soon, certainly unlikely. Certain unlikely is the purple states. Keep an eye on these states. Let's go down. The Supreme Court overturns Roe v. versus Wade on Friday, holding that there is no longer a federal constitutional right to an abortion. Now, mind you, I'm not sure why people are afraid of saying what it is, because this is the article. I'm reading straight from the horse's mouth. We don't call it anything else. Nothing of any character. It says it right here. This is not dealing with deletions. It's abortion. We call it what it is. Because, and the reason why I'm saying this, because we have to be serious here on the content. I think the problem why people want to call it a different way is because they try and shadow or hide what it really is. Because when people hear about the word or alternate words of the language, they don't know what the hell that is. What is that? You ask anybody, what is this? They won't tell you what it is. Because people don't use code. We have to give things transparency with the language, and we have to be upfront, honest with people. Oh, Miss Queen's Virtue, can you put my support donation tab as well, and let everybody know to keep liking the video if you can, please, sweetie. Thank you. All right. The opinions, the options is the most consequential Supreme Court decision in decades and will transfer the landscapes of women's reproductive health in America. Going forward, abortion rights will be determined by state unless Congress acts. Already, nearly half of the states have or will pass laws that ban abortion, while others have enact strict measures regulating the procedures. Now, one thing I hear from a lot of our sisters is they talk about their health is at risk. And I always ask the biggest question: do you know your own body, bitch? Because a lot of people generally don't know how to take care of their bodies, know the proper nutrition, health, etc. You might have to go speak to a spiritualist or a sister that's culturally well-versed about how your body should work. The problem with a lot of us today, first world nation, Western people, is we are very much dependent and lazy of institutions that, let's be honest, serve you no good. And I'm saying this very kindly, nice to y'all. Personally. And I'm not holding my tongue for Ladia, because let's be honest, y'all just don't know how to take care of yourselves. Personally, you know. Sorry about that. And the times now that you're going to, there should be no more excuse. You're going to make the conscious effort to understand how your body works, ladies. Because this will affect you if you're lazy. Let's keep going. Roe was enormous wrong for the start. Justice Samuel Alito wrote in his majority opinion, its reasons was exceptionally weak, and the decision has had damaging consequences and far from bringing about a national settlement of the abortion issues. Roe and Casey have inflamed debates and deepening divisions. The vote was 5-4 in favor of overturning Roe in a joint dissenting opinions. Justice Stephen Breyer, Sonoya Sotomayor, Ellen Kagan heavily criticized the majority closing, with sorrowing for the court, but more for the many millions of American women who have today lost a fundamental constitutional protection. We dissent. I'm not sure if Queen Virtue's there. Let me do this because I need a woman up on here. Oh, you know, I forgot one person to send. 1 second, guys. I just now remember something. Let me do this. Hold on, guys. I'm doing something. All right. Okay. I decided to knock this out the way, guys, because if I don't do this, it's not gonna come out right. Now, let me see. All right. And as I'm continuing, make sure y'all guys, as you come through the stream, like the video, please. And as always, share it. This is a very interesting topic. I think it needs to be discussed. This should not be something that we should not be really shying away from. Okay, let's continue. Where am I? Oh, yes. With sorrow for the court, but more for the many million American women who have today lost a... Okay, I read that already. Let's go down. The opinion represent the culmination of a decade-long effort on the part of critics of abortion seeking to return more power to the states. It was made possible by a solid 6-member conservative majority, including 3 of Donald Trump's nominees. Now, I heard Biden was very mad that today the courts decided to push back this Roe v Wade, and he blamed Trump. But forgot to say that this was something that was going to be brought about in the making since we're now approaching 50 years since it was now legal to terminate or abort a baby. I know. And you know why I didn't get the alert? Because of the topic, bro. If you check your notifications, I don't think most people gonna get alert because what I'm saying in the language of this stream. But we have to be fair and honest here. We gotta call it out as it is. Because the newspapers, the articles say otherwise. Now, mind you, people that does content, I'm telling y'all personally, here's a little secret. If y'all gonna be doing content and you worry about monetization, they are very stringy when it comes to certain language here. Just to get 70 cents after every 1,000 views. Do you hear me, people? You might not hear this, but I'm gonna tell this, and I'm gonna have to start keep reiterating. If you do content on YouTube and you want to make a little money on monetization, here's the secret. You only get 70 cents every 1,000 views. Now tell me, people, is 70 cents money? No. Now, if you're getting $2 or $2.50, that's a start. But 70 cents, you're not making nothing. Anyway, let's continue. At least 21 states have laws or constitutional amendments already in place that will make them certainly the attempt to ban abortion as quickly as possible, according to the Gut-Mature Institution, or the Gut-Mature Institution, which favors abortion rights. And an additional 4 states are likely to ban abortion as soon as possible without federal protection. Chief Justice John Roberts did not join the majority, writing in a concrete opinion that he would not have overturned Roe, but instead would have only uphold Mississippi law banning abortion after 15 weeks. Now, last time I checked, it's roughly 39 weeks, I think it goes, for a pregnancy. So we're not sure if when the baby starts to really start to develop. I think it's around maybe close to 20 weeks, 15 at most. I can't remember. But as once you start seeing a so-called developing fetus, that's a living baby. I don't care what people say. And I'm not really the person advocating or sitting and promoting say you should be aborting babies. Now, as you know, certain content creators are very known and don't mind or happy of aborting babies. And it's funny, and ladies never notice. Have you ever noticed that only the women that does content or do any content through social media or whatever doesn't mind dealing with abortions or having no problem with abortions per se. But most of the males that do content shine away, don't like the word or hear about abortion. You ever notice that? And I wonder why. I wonder why. Before I continue receiving my okay. Anyway, let's keep going. Biden ruling casts a dark shadow. Wait, hold on, guys. I gotta make sure my finger's working. I didn't. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, I have not noticed either, Queen of Virtue, and I send you some through your message. Check your message, Queen of Virtue, once you get a chance. President Joe Biden said Friday the health and life of women in the nation are now at risk after the Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade and eliminates the constitutional right to an abortion. It is a sad day for the courts and for the country. Biden said, speaking from the White House, calling for Congress to codify the rights to an abortion, something that, unlike gives the split balance of power in the Senate. Let me tell you something about these presidents. These presidents don't give a crap about what goes on into the bigger parts of the system, all other seats of branch. Because the president only takes his orders from other seats of branch. He doesn't really go in there, just go willy-nilly. If y'all follow the history of how the country really works, a corporation really, which has shareholders and stuff. Yeah, look at the presidency as the same thing. So don't think that your president cares about it, or he's someone's wrote that to make it seem like he cares, but really truly they don't really care personally. All right. It was 3 justice names by one president, Donald Trump, who were the core of today's decision to upended the scale of justice and eliminate the fundamental right for women in this country. To make no mistake, this decision is a culmination of a deliberate efforts over decades in upsetting the bounds of our law, Biden said. It is a realization of an extreme ideology and a tragic error of the Supreme Court, in my view. He added, the courts have done what it never done before. Takes away a constitutional right that is so fundamentally to so many Americans that had already been recognized. The court's decision to do so will have real and immediate consequences, he says. Political response is swift. Going down the list, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi calls the ruling such an insult, a slap in the face to women. There's no point in saying good morning because it certainly is not one. She said this morning the radical Supreme Court is escalating women's rights and endangering their health and safety. Aww. And today, the Republican-controlled courts achieved their dark, extreme goals of repealing a woman's right to make their own health decisions. Former President Barack Obama criticized the decision, saying the high courts not only reverse nearly 50 years of proceedings, but is regulating the most intensified personal decisions someone can make to womb of political and ideological attacking the essential freedoms of millions of Americans. Former Vice President Mike Pence praised the ruling, saying the high courts has given the American people a new beginning for life, and commended the justice in the majority having the courage of their convictions. The funny thing about all this, and one thing to let you know, I was checking Twitter, and for some reason, let me see who's still on Twitter. It seems to me that the protests break out across the U.S. Supreme Court overturn Roe v. Wade. And let's look at this. Yeah, they did broke out. Yeah, they broke out. You see them marching with these umbrellas. They rocking with their signs. It looks a little like a mess. They got control of our bodies. You know, I never seen a lot of women that likes to flaunt their wombs and their pussy in a way where they say their bodies are being controlled for some reason. It seemed to me like there's a lot of women that march this. I could tell for a fact that they're very loose with their pussies. Personally, in my opinion, that's how I see it. Very loose. Fellas, I know y'all say that y'all don't care about a woman's body count. I get it. But it's revealing that the people that's marching the most are not black women in those videos. See a whole lot of non-black women, non-black, Caucasian, other ethnic groups, women crossing through the streets, marching with the streets with their long signs, their umbrellas saying, "You can't control our bodies. You can't control our bodies. You can't control our bodies." It's only them that's fighting tooth and nail to abort a baby. And they'll say America is in a decline, population-wise, personally. And they're not getting the 2.5 more or more babies like that. And really what is projected now, because we're in the new decade, that we could see right now in America that there might not be no child at all. Because one time, the last 10 years, it dropped from, or last 20 years, it dropped from 2.5 to roughly 2 to 1.5 in the last decade, and is now projected, and I say it's now projected, that most women are not going to have no kids at all. Now, there's many scenarios that quantify why this might be the case, but when you're not producing children or more bodies, the state eventually has to step in. And here why I say the state has to step in, because you only can import so much of your stock. You're going to run out of imports. Rather, you manufacture what you have here, which is human beings, collateral. If you keep importing, that means you have to pay out outside this country for someone else to come in. And you know, we are in now slowly in the stage of recession. And personally, America can't afford to keep bringing people in like that. So what's the next best move? Since I can't keep importing non-black people, because that's what I import mostly to keep the numbers conflating. I had to start saying you're going to have to start producing what you have here. And the only way you're going to do that and achieve that, these women got to stop aborting babies. That's how it's going to work. That's how it's going to work. And that's how they have come to the decision, said, we're going to have to overturn this. It's time. Nothing lasts forever, people. Keep that in mind. Nothing really lasts forever. All right. Now that Roe v. Wade has been co-signed to the ash heap of history, a new arena in the cause of life has emerged, and it is incumbent on all who cherish the sanctity of life to resolve that we will take the defense of the unborn and support for women in cross or crisis pregnancy centers to every state in America. Pence added. Senator Susan Collins, the main Republican who voted to confirm Justice Brett Kavanaugh, I think that's how it's pronounced, and Neil Gorsuch said she objected to the decision. This decision is inconsistent with what Justice Gorsuch and Kavanaugh said in their testimony and their meeting with me, where they both were insisting on the importance of supporting long outstanding proceedings that the country has relied upon. Trigger ban means abortion is prohibited in several states. In at least 7 states, officials say the abortion ban can now be enforced. 3 states, Kentucky, Louisiana, South Dakota, have so-called trigger bans that went into effect automatically upon the Supreme Court ruling. Now, I'm not sure how many of my subscribers or anybody that's watched this live in Louisiana or Kentucky. But if you're a person, especially a black person, mainly rich woman, if you live in Louisiana or Kentucky, and you want to have the option of, having nice casual sex, with a man, with or without the condom of a man, and miraculously you get knocked up and you really don't want to go through with the baby, you might have to step out and leave those states immediately. Now, mind you, if you're a sexually responsible woman, this thing about abortion does not concern you, ladies. But if you're very loose with your vagina, I would be very cautious to say, maybe it's time to skip town. I think you don't want to be in certain states where it said if you go through with an abortion, you might be serving some time in jail, prison time, or pay a hefty fine. Or you might get somebody to lose their license. Either or, it's not permitted in certain states, and probably more as the days go by. All right. 10 other states have trigger bans with implementations mechanisms that occur after a set period or after a step taken by a state governor entity. Among the trigger ban states in the later categories, Missouri has already made the move required to implement its ban on abortion, with State Attorney General Eric Schmitz announcing Friday that he had taken the steps of certification laid out by Missouri law. It is likely that elsewhere in the country, state legislators will soon be called back into session to pass strict abortion laws that previously would have run afloat of road. Similar to leaked drafts, the final opinion was strikingly similar to the draft written by Alto that was leaked early this year. It repeats his scornful language towards the original Roe v. Wade decision that enshrines abortion's rights. Like the draft opinion, Alto includes a list of cases that also rest on a right to privacy, as Alto asserts that Roe was distinct from those cases. What sharply distinguished the abortion rights from the right recognizing in the cases on which Roe and Casey rely is something that both these decisions acknowledge: abortion destroy what those decisions call potential life, and what the law at issues in the case regarding as the life of an unborn human being. Alto wrote in the line that was also presented in the draft. Half of the U.S. states could ban abortion as Roe v. Wade is overturned. 26 states have laws indicating that they intend to ban abortion according to the Guttmacher Institution. 9 states have pre-Roe bans that could potentially be enforced with the ruling of overturn, and 13 states have trigger bans in place, meaning the abortion will almost immediately be banned with Roe v. Wade no longer in effect. Trigger bans already in place. You see this map? Bans abortion prior to Roe v. Wade. See this place? See the map? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Arizona, Oklahoma, Texas. I think that's Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama. I think West Virginia, Maine. Past ban on extreme limits on abortion that could be enforced without Roe v. Wade. States of agriculture institution crossfires likely to ban abortion based on state history and political atmosphere. See that? What new is Alto response to the dissent jointly written by the three liberal justices, and the dissent would not have been written at the time that the leaked draft was circulating around the courts. The dissent is very candid that it cannot show that a constitutional right to abortion has any foundation, let alone a deeply rooted one. In this nation history and traditions, Alto wrote, the dissentant does not identify as any pre-Roe authorities that support such a right. No state constitutionally provisions or statutes, no federal or justice, or actually federal or state judicial proceedings, not even a scholarly treasons or treasons. In that 4-page section, Alto said that the dissent's failures engaging with this long tradition is devastating to its position. Dissent points to potential impact on women. The dissenters said women's rights are under attack. Whenever the enact scope of the coming laws, one results of today's decision is certain, and the curtailment of women's rights and of their status as free and equal citizens. Friday's opinion, the descendants says that the form of the very moment of fertilization, a woman has no right to speak out, to speak of. Across a vast array of circumstance, a state will be able to impose the moral choice on a woman and coerce her to give birth to a child. The liberal justice added, the dissents also stress how the decision will impact poor women who now will have to travel in order to obtain the procedure. Let's pause right there for a second. If you are poor, let's say you're poor, okay. The last thing you should be thinking is fucking. And this also applies to men too. But let's say for the sake of the ladies, if you have no control, ladies, and I know it's hard, you're getting your throat banged out, you get your back blown out from whatever dude that you fancy. But you must resist the temptation if you don't got no money. Or you're dealing with a dude that's in a relationship that might have something or is going to take you in as, you know, as a mate, and you him make a life. That would be the better pre-course. But you know how we are today as beings. People that's poor and have nothing to do, the only thing you have is probably fucking. Unfortunately. But anyway. Above all others, women lack financial resource will suffer from today's decision. The dissenters also lash out at Justice Brett Kavanaugh for suggesting that the decision simply returns the abortion question to the states. As the three liberal justices wrote, no language in today's decision stops the federal government from prohibiting abortions nationwide. Once again, from the moment of conception and without exceptions for rape or incest. If that happens, they explains throwing Kavanaugh's word back at him. The views of an individual state citizen will not matter. The challenge for a woman will be to finance a trip not to New York or California, but to Toronto. Now, I'm not sure what's the laws in Toronto in regards to abortion, but if it's known fact that you can go to another country like Toronto and get the procedure, it tells me that the Canadians are very loose with their sexual bodies, and they're doing a lot of fucking. But what do you expect? The Canadians are like French people, and we know the French love to have sex 3 times a Sunday. All positions, all different holes. If you want to be loose with it, they love the sex. They love the fuckery. And if a woman, gets knocked up, they say, "We got it. We get rid of it. It was nothing, and we didn't want no baby out of it. We just want the pussy and all the extra stuff that's too much to ask. We take care of it. And Canada, because you got to say Canadian with the health system is very good. It's actually free by the I guess the taxpayers pay some off to the healthcare in Canada, so it makes sense that you can get anything and you have to pay for it besides maybe your taxes or somewhere. You fit the bill, you get everything covered. Challenging brought by Mississippi. Championed by supporters of abortion and long revealed by critics, Roe v. Wade was decided in 1973, roughly now 49 years ago, establishing a constitutional right to abortion before fetal visibility, which most experts say occurs now at around 23 to 24 weeks of pregnancy. Because remember, it has to be almost roughly half, because they said roughly 39 to 40 weeks. So we look at over 20 weeks, that's actually a baby now. Yeah. The decision was reaffirmed in 1992 in Planned Parenthood with Casey. So we're looking at almost 30 years ago. Imagine that. Imagine that. Since 1973 up to 1992, 19 years ago, to now 2022, 49 years ago, 30 years ago. Do y'all see the correlation with this? Anyway, a majority of the courts in that case replaced Roe frameworks with a new standard to determine the validity of laws restricting abortion. The court said that a regulation cannot place a undue burden on the rights to abortion, which is defined as a sustainable. One second, guys. Let me do this. All right, guys. Let me check the sound. Let me see how things. All right, guys. Okay. All right, we're good. It's good. All right. Where was I? Wow. All right. A majority of the courts in the case replaced Roe framework with a new standard to determine the validity of law restricting abortions. The court said that the regulations cannot place as an undue burden on the rights to abortion, which is defined as a sustainable obstacle in the path of women seeking an abortion before the fetus attains viability. Before the courts was Mississippi, what they call it, gestational age at passed in 2018, both blocked by the two federal courts, which allow abortions after 15 weeks, only in medical emergencies or for severe fetal abnormality, and has no exceptions for rape or incest. Do you see this crap right here? Fetal abnormalities and has no exception for rape or incest. Mm, 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 mm. Wow. I gotta highlight that. Now, if y'all not understanding Western culture, and I'm be honest with y'all, this is not a conversation that's comfortable personally for anyone that want to hear this. I get it. I understand this. But we have to be uncomfortable to have understanding and growth and learn. As you know, personally, if you understand Western culture, Western history, you gotta understand incest and rape is a Western thing, phenomenon. This is more of a Eurocentric thing. You hear stories, books written how people marry their cousins, their daughters, etc. This is not something new. So now that they will not let you, I guess, terminate a child once you got in there and told them what happened and they check you out that you were, you know, depending how far you are in the pregnancy or whatever case may be. And I'll be honest with you ladies gotta be vocal to things when these things happen to you. You cannot stay in silence and deal with the trauma. You must speak up. You must open your mouths. You must take action. No matter how much trauma or what you're going through, you have to take initiative action because the closed mouths will not get fed. Your story will never be told. And for every silence, another woman could be you as a victim of any form of criminal acts. So you must be vocal and speak up and fight now, especially if someone did this to you in regards to the instance of rape that got you pregnant. All right, let's keep going. A distinct court block the laws holding that it is a direct violation of Supreme Court proceedings legalizing abortion nationwide prior to visibility, which can occur at around 23 to 24 weeks of pregnancy. A panel of judges on the Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeal agreed with the district court holdings that in an unbroken line dating the Roe v. Wade, the Supreme Court abortion case have established and affirmed and reaffirmed a woman's right to choose an abortion before viability. The court said states may regulate abortion procedures prior to viability so long as they do not ban abortion. The laws at issue is a ban. The court held. Mississippi appealed the decision to the Supreme Court, and after the justice agreed to hear the case, the state raised the stakes and argued that the justice should not only be upheld by the laws, but also invalidate Roe and Casey. Invalidate actually. Mississippi Socotor General Scott Stewart was blunt at an oral argument. Roe versus Wade and Planned Parenthood versus Casey Hunt. Our country, Stewart said, they have no basis in the Constitution. They have no home in our history or tradition. They damaged the Democrat proceedings. They poisoned the laws. They choke off compromise. For 50 years, they keep this court at a center of political battles that it can never resolve, and 50 years on they stand alone. Nowhere else does this court recognize a right to end a human life. And you know, you're right. They don't have the right to end the human life, but they sure put laws in place to make you think twice before you decide to take the phallus in pussy, whether with or without condom. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, sex is a procreation act. Unless you got your tubes tied or you got yourself snipped. And really that's not guaranteed that you're going to still be able to create life, because I hear now, personally, that people that got snipped or got the tubes tied, they have miraculously could still get knocked up and conceive. That's another story. But the point is this, that as long as you engage in this activity, which is a beautiful activity, the chances of creating life is very high. Very high. And I know most human beings don't want to hear that. A lot of human beings say, I just want to have fun. I don't want nothing to come out of this. Well, there's ways to prevent this. The secret is, one, you don't have sex. Two, you can engage in, what do you call it? Same sex. Or three, you engage in dissexual behaviors. Meaning, if you engage with a mate, you might have to go into the Hershey Highway. I don't know. These are ways that you can prevent pregnancy. Either the guy, he, you like to give head, or he does it in the backside. Pick your poison. If you're more concerned about getting your nut or getting your orgasm, you have some decisions to make. But as long as you put the cock into the pussy, life is going to be created one way or the other. And this is as raw as it's going to get. Yeah, I know, Mr. Research. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. But these are the options people could take if they don't want to create life. But like I said, most human beings, once they engage in sex, they want to engage in sex as natural as possible. And that is with the two organs that create life on the average. Anything less than that is uncivilized, in my opinion. But let's keep going. The chat room's getting crazy. Solicitor, Solid Sector General Elizabeth Pre-Lagur, I think that's how it's pronounced, argued on behalf of the Biden administration in support of the clinics. She urged the justice to uphold proceedings and avoid a ruling that would disproportionately harm women who have come to depend upon the decision. For a half a century, this court has correctly recognized that the Constitution protects a woman's fundamental right to decide whether to end a pregnancy before viability. She argues that guaranteed that the states cannot force a woman to carry a pregnancy to term and give birth as endangering or engendering sustainable individual and societal reliance. The real-world effects of overruling Roe and Casey would be severe and swift. She added, the courts have never revoked a right that is so fundamental to so many Americans and so central to their abilities to participate fully and equally in society. Julian Rickleman, a lawyer for Jackson Women's Health Organization, the only licensed abortion clinic in Mississippi, and Sachin Kara Ellis, the clinical medical detector, told the justice that Mississippi bans an abortion 2 months before visibility is flatly unconstitutional under decades of proceedings. Public opposed to overturn Roe. How far are we going down this? We're almost done. A broad majority of Americans did not want to see Roe versus Wade overturned. Polling taken before the Supreme Court decision shows. In a May CNN poll conducted immediately after the leak of the draft opinion, America said 66% to 34% that they did not want the Supreme Court to completely overturn its decision. And CNN polling dating back to 1989, the share of the public in favor of completing overturn Roe has never risen above 36%, as you can tell right here. In the CNN poll, 58% of U.S. adults said that if Roe were overturned, they want their state to set abortion laws that were more permissive than restrictive. About half, 51%, said that they like to see their states become a safe haven for women who want abortions but couldn't get them where they live. But not everyone was aware in advance of how their own states would be affected. Of Americans living in states with trigger laws to immediately ban abortion after the overturning of Roe, only 45% realized that was the case, according to a Kaiser Family Foundation poll conducted in May. Another 42% living in those states were unsure what's the impact of the ruling would be where they live. And that's the CNN article side of things. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Let me do this. Interesting. Really, Mr. Research. If you do mind, you can come up if you want. I'll drop a link for those who want to come in. But like I said, you're going to be smarter now, ladies. I would say the gentlemen should be smarter too, but last time I checked, these dudes said that more than half of them got kids, and they're not really in this conversation, which I have to question personally. Because you tell me up to 45, you don't have no kids. Now, I'm not 40 yet. I only can speak for myself. But I know other men that's my age or a few years younger, or maybe just turned 30, might possibly have kids. Who knows? I'm just saying. But it looks like we have somebody in the trying to get access to the studio. Let's see right here. Hold on, guys. Wait 1 second. I'm trying to find it. Where is it? Okay. Yes, it looks like somebody's trying to come in.
What's going on, sir?
What's good, Mr. Research? How you doing, sir? It's good to see
let's
you.
talk politics and power.
Yes. Tell me what's the scoop, man. I read one of many articles in regards to this major decision today. And from what I'm hearing, Mr. Research, it looks like there's some riots going around in the Capitol or wherever that a lot of people are very unhappy with this. But it was long
Ain't nothing they can do. So what I told people when everything started happening with the Supreme, this happened around the time that gay people got the right to marry. I said,
yeah, that was 7 years ago. Yeah,
I said, let these Republicans get that Supreme Court. You ain't gonna hold on to that for long. People don't understand. No matter how we feel, Supreme Court sets the law, and it can't be undone by anybody but the Supreme Court.
Interesting. Did not know that. Okay.
So, therefore, whatever they set in tone, you are locked in for the lifetime of the oldest 2 or 3 people. That's the only time you can possibly submit something to the Supreme Court to have them revisit it, is when new people come in.
Okay.
So when Clarence Thomas goes, you got to have one other person go, and then you can and then you can talk about possibly getting something done or repealed or whatever. But this is going to happen all the time. Men are going to have to realize that people don't do stuff on this level without doing something to the men. So I won't be surprised if Congress, maybe not this next 4 years, they pass something that vilifies the man, meaning that now we got this. If you get caught with your pipe out, we're going to triple times do you what we did in child support. You're going to really hurt.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, as a matter of fact, there was an article I done 2 years ago where one woman was trying to suggest, saying they want to put a crime or punishment of a dude, you know, without putting a condom out, asking and stuff. I still have that on my channel. You get me? That was just only 3 years ago.
It ain't no joke. People are having emotional conversations about this stuff, especially people that want to hurt the other gender. Women that want to hurt the men. Rape or the R word is only 1% of those pregnancies.
Yes.
but they try to make it as if it's 90%.
Which is backwards. It's backwards. You get me?
Right. Incest is only 0.5%. But they try to make it seem like it's something major. Now, I'm not saying that to laugh at it. I'm saying that we're not having honest conversation. And while we're not having honest conversation, the people in power are passing laws against all of us.
Exactly. We're spectators. We could say what the hell we want, but once the people upstairs say it's final, it's final. That's it. All you gonna do is you're gonna have to make adjustments like everything else.
That's it. I talked about, I think you was on the channel maybe 6 months or a year ago. I talked about how there's a white guy in Minnesota trying to pass a law that says if Chaos is in Minnesota having a beer with a girl, she's buying her own drinks. They're laughing, they're talking. He's guzzling, she's guzzling her own drink, and they decide to go somewhere and bang something out. That woman wakes up in the morning and decides, oh my God, what have I done? Chaos is liable.
Yep.
That's the law he's trying to pass in Minnesota Supreme Court right now.
I think I heard about that. His excuse, I think you mentioned this on the other channel, that he's doing this in regards to protecting, I guess, his daughter or whoever.
Something to that effect, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, well, you don't have to really put no law to protect your daughter if you instill and teach your daughter enough what if she's gonna be out here, what to watch out for.
Yeah, but this is why I always push back on men who say that, because what y'all have to understand is it's not about the laws are created to make ladies look like victims at all point in time.
All right.
Even while they're screaming independent. I want you to look up when you get a chance. This will be a good video for you. Look up Keith the rapper, and a lady named, I believe her name is Johnson.
Okay.
But at 32 years old, she was sleeping with 16-year-old Keith the rapper. Let me say it again.
What's that? What's the name? Mary J? No, somebody. If I was, it was a woman. But go ahead.
Yeah. She was 32 years old, sleeping with a 16-year-old. And wow. Did the judge get her for statutory rape?
Hell no.
No. The judge told this 16-year-old he had to pay this grown adult child support.
Shit.
No. Let that sink in.
Wow, that's crazy.
This grown adult on the judge's seat didn't see this guy as a teenager because he's a hood, got tattoos, he got dreads. But really, he's only 16. This judge opened his mouth and said, you are going to pay this grown woman child support. So this is what the laws are here in America. It does not matter how we feel. It doesn't matter when dudes in the manosphere say, oh, these women gonna learn. Oh, they gonna be hurt now. No. The white man is always gonna pass a law to make sure that she's in good. The only reason they passed this law is because of the federal dollars.
Exactly. It's a money thing. Because think about it. It's not only they need the bodies, but they can't keep paying for this no more.
No.
Do you know we're in a financial stranglehold right now? As people paying attention?
I can't tell. Biden just gave Ukraine another 500 million.
Oh, recently?
Yep. Oh. Today.
It looks like we got money. We got money.
So we gave 57 billion. Then we gave 1 billion. And that's not even count the amount of weapons we gave and tanks and all that type of stuff that came from the Pentagon that we're going to have to replenish. We ain't even talking about that. I guarantee there will be a recession 2026, 2025.
You don't think it's this year?
Nah.
So how come I hear Uncle, I'm not going to say it.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen that quickly because what it is, you got to remember, Dick Cheney messed up all the money. And Obama stopped it and reversed it. But other than NAFTA, Trump didn't do anything policy-wise to make it good or bad. He just let it ride. See what I'm saying?
But could Trump did something? Like, I know it's his first term.
Nobody can name a policy other than NAFTA that he did.
Okay.
Everything else was just talk. But there's no actual policy that he signed that affects the economy other than what he did with NAFTA and China. So Biden, so far, he passed a couple of things, but those have to go through Congress. You won't see the effect of those until he's almost out of office. So you won't see that until 2023, December, or 2024.
Most likely when he's not going to possibly be reelected. I don't see this dude doing 2 terms at his age.
I don't even think he want to do
it. And to be honest with you, if let's say things go differently, that for this case maybe they'll try to sneak in a female as president.
Hillary's coming back.
Hillary's going to try to run again?
Yes, sir.
Wow, is she? Well, actually, I think she. I mean, because look at Biden's like 80 years old now, so yeah, it's possible she can run again.
Yeah, Hillary's gonna try to come back again. She's already been making the tours. She's gonna try to come back again.
So I take it Trump is out. He ain't gonna.
I don't know if he's faking or if he gonna do it, but to be honest, because people thought it was a fluke, what they don't realize is that he can easily win again.
Of course.
Yeah. Of course. Because like I said, he didn't do nothing policy-wise to hurt nothing.
Yeah.
So he could just come in and coast. But if he comes in, he's going to have to deal with that Ukraine thing. And some people are not going to like what he says about the Ukraine thing. Because he's going to say what he said last time. You should do a deal with Putin. And everybody ain't going to like that.
Well,
he said that before the invasion.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because we can't keep affording it. We can't help that guy get his whole country back. We done kicked in 58 billion, and still they done lost 20% of it. It's going on 25% right now once they take that river. So, what's another 57 billion gonna do? So you're gonna have to sign something, and Putin don't want NATO in Ukraine. But let me get back to this one thing, and then give you the mic back. So about this abortion, just comes down to this, sir. Ladies, they get on the plane and go get a BBL in Miami every week. If you want an abortion, even if you're in Texas, you pay that $80, jump on that Greyhound, take that bus to Virginia, Kentucky, Wisconsin, drop that $2,000 or $8,000, and you can have it just like you get your BBL. You just won't be able to have it in certain states where you want them to help you flip the bill. That ain't happening.
Okay. Yeah, Miss Research. Miss Research. I have my good friend Mary Brown. I'm Mary. I'm here with Miss Research. We're talking about this thing about the abortion laws that's overturned. And Miss Research brought in some things to the conversation that has to be very looked at. That people don't, even policies. The recession, all stuff. It's very insightful.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing with the Roe V Wade thing, I predicted. I thought it was just some political gamesmanship. So I really wasn't expecting them to overturn it. But I mean, I'm not surprised given the climate, because all this is white supremacy reinstituting itself, reconstituting itself. That's all it is. And like I said, they, like with this whole red pill thing and everything, they're gearing up to oppress these niggas for another 300 years. They don't even realize it. They thinking in a long game, man. Why these dumbass niggas think that's simple. So when they get the adverse outcome, it's gonna be what they deserve.
Yeah, to this point, people don't realize the laws that are going to get passed against guys. Every time they pass something against women, They come hard against the dudes. Dudes are going to start accepting tricking or go deep into hermit life. They're going to go deep into hermit life. They're going to try some tricking. 1 to 2.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But I mean, because my thing was, I would have thought, well, if they were going to do that, they would have been did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah, that just goes to show you that a lot of what you see politically, there is a real split there philosophically, in terms of liberalism and conservatism, and its relationship to white supremacy. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I was in a white room. I was in a white room earlier while I was working, and they was literally crying real tear. I didn't know what would happen. I thought, and
yeah. Sorry about that, Mr. Research. Give me a second.
I told them, I told the white people, y'all pass laws thinking it's going to work against other Americans. I don't care if it's NAFTA, jail expansion, it ultimately ends up working against y'all also. You thought the immigrants were going to love you. That didn't happen. You thought right to work. We don't need no unions. Now you're crying. So you thought the Supreme Court was going to be on your side? Guess what? They looking at the money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's always multifaceted. They always use, you know, identity politics and the notion of whiteness to control. You know, white supremacy really was created. The concept, the notion of white supremacy was created to control the white serfdom, the European serfdom that was immigrating over here from Europe. You know, those indentured servants, stuff like that.
Yep.
They buy into it because it's to keep the proletariat classes divided while they dominate everybody. You know what I'm saying? So that's all neoconservatism is about. You know, that's why, like what you was talking about. That's why they're going through all that trouble right now in Middle America and the Rust Belt, cold country, all of that. They're going. You're right. They go along with it.
I'm gonna put a piece of a video I saw on France News yesterday. They said they was going through parts of Ukraine that are under siege right now, right? And a lot of the Ukraine people are losing, and I'm not happy about that. It's just it is what it is. And the Ukraine people are leaving, and some of the Ukraine people who have a love for the Russians said this on the French news. No, the Russians are our friends. We're gonna sit right here. We'll be all right. I said CNN don't want that out. So I'm gonna take a clip of and put it on my channel because CNN don't want to see that. And then I think like 3 days ago they captured 800 Ukrainians. So I don't know, man. I don't wish no bad on nobody. I'm just saying that people got to deal with the reality. We don't have the money for this stuff. And Biden, when he leaves office, he want to say he balanced stuff. He want to say he did this and did that. And what better way is to reverse Roe versus Wade? You keep all that federal money, you send it to the treasurer, and you get to leave office looking like a great vice president and a great 4-year president.
And it probably gonna blame us, say when he leaves, say if Biden did it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying he was only a tool, like many presidents, that has to clean up the next person's mess.
Hey, look, but if he leaves with good numbers, I don't care what they say about him. The numbers will live forever.
Oh yeah, that's what it comes down to. The numbers, man. It's numbers game with a lot of these people, you know. Yeah, I believe that. Totally believe that. One thing that came to my mind, I was trying to remember. Shit, it slipped my mind. Oh, I did not know, Mr. Research, 'cause I heard this from another brother, that even when the Roe v Wade is even the story of it, or the story that holds upon that I did not know it was a white woman that cried out, bawled out on rape by a black man that she got knocked up. She wanted to abort the baby, and she couldn't abort it, so she had to say that she was raped by this black man. You familiar with the story? The actual story of this?
No, I didn't hear it, but it happens quite often. People say that somebody, the big boogie person, did something, and it happens quite often.
Yeah, that's a story that goes into what we now talk about. We call Roe v versus Wade. So I think it's ain't this something that they always use the black man, like you said, as the boogeyman to create policies in place.
Well, this is also what I said on the black discussion. I said this is a great opportunity for the black man to create a clinic or a hospital in Virginia, create a abortion credit card, and capitalize on this situation. Or this is a great time for the women to reach out to their white women on the feminist tip, say, let's come together with our feminist dollars and create a hospital just for women who want to leave their state and come and do XYZ.
Mm-hmm. But how women going to do that, Ms. Reacher, is say you're going to have to fit the bill. A lot of women don't want to spend money. Let me correct that. They're willing to spend money to make it look beautiful, but regardless, like getting rid of things that they need, they don't really spend that. Like the BBLs now, which I didn't know that a lot of sisters are getting BBLs. That's something new to me, but it is a thing now. Getting enhancements, and I'm thinking they do this just to be beautified, just to get a mate, or
what do we always say in Manosphere? What have women created? This would be a great time for them to create that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just use all women dollars. Create that clinic. It don't need to be big.
A nice, good sized clinic.
You can go take over a mall that ain't being used no more. Call it a clinic. Mm-hmm. But this is why I say to women, don't be talking about me and this, me and that. You have several opportunities to put your money together and go create something. So it's time.
Yeah, I agree. But like I said, women gonna have no choice to really make some harsh decisions, and it's gonna show a lot of discipline, which our people lack personally discipline, especially when it comes to sex. I don't care what it is. I said earlier, if you're not disciplined in that area, you're gonna have problems. Because when laws are put in place now, I'm not saying, well, I could say you could be selective all day, every day, but when you want to get to handle that itch, you're gonna find some person to handle the itch. Personally,
you better not let me get $10-20 million. I'm gonna put up a clinic and treat it like a Jiffy Lube express lane.
Shit.
5 to 10,000 per procedure. Nobody will ever know. Come on, let's go.
Let's go, man. 10 bands. Yep. Yeah, have them 10 bands ready. I want the double bag of 10 bands. Here you go, Miss Research. That's it. Perfect. Go in line. You're next.
Not a problem.
Get that baby suck out. Damage your womb, baby.
You don't even have to look. We'll take care of everything. Get on that bus. Matter of fact, we got you the lay down bus that you could just. You ain't got you.
Damn, lay down.
We gonna put your 10 G's to work, and then you can be at home. Nobody back at college. Nobody ever know nothing.
Yeah, that say you went. Yeah, man. Most definitely, what I'm saying, just lay down, baby. Assume the position, the good position. That's it. That's it. But I've been laying down my back most of my life. I know, baby. So get comfortable. I know.
But see, this is even the manosphere. We gotta stop complaining.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta stop complaining. We gotta put. The Native Americans created their own child support system.
Yeah, that's something new.
Black men need to start doing that. We got to, because the white man is going to constantly create laws for women. Stop thinking that it's women. The white man's doing it.
Yep.
So if he feel like this doesn't happen with Roe v. versus Wade, there's a white man with 2 daughters right now, scared for his daughters, and he trying to pass a bill in Vermont just for every man on the planet. I want my daughters to be able to just say Chaos Reign is their baby father, and they never even met Chaos.
Stupid.
No, it's called father of record. It's an actual law right now.
Yeah. Yeah,
never even met Chaos. Never laid with Chaos. Never even shook hands. But they done seized Chaos' bank account and locked him out of his own bank account. Happens all the time. So we as men got to stop complaining, and we got to start looking at, okay, so Roe v. versus Wade, okay, let me get with a bunch of brothers. Let me take over this old library, turn it into a clinic, and let's start pumping out medical services for these ladies.
For these lovely ladies.
Give them a credit card, no money down credit card. Let's get it.
Yeah, man. Lovely ladies. Ladies, you ready? You want to sit there and delete a baby? We got you covered right here, baby. Oh, we got one. Oh, wait. Oh, we have somebody else in the building. Let me check what this is. Come on. Oh, it's got to start. Hold on. What's good, Alonzo?
What's going on, brother?
I'm good. So I know you've been listening lately. What's your take on what has been upon us, or disposed, or brought upon us?
This is a real big problem. This overturning of Roe v. Wade, and the reason I say that is because women aren't going to now suddenly become more chaste or more persnickety about the people with whom they're having babies. So this is going to increase shit like infanticide or increasing in the foster care system. Right? The quote-unquote Pookies and the Ray-Rays that we complain about in the manosphere don't care about Roe v. Wade, and they ain't worried about not strapping up or not having babies. We still got the support system and the country of socialism. And realistically, like the brother said, somebody gonna go create a clinic and you're gonna get illegal abortions again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now when women blame men for the pregnancy, there's almost no out. Because now they can say, well, now there's no law for us even to cancel it. You know? It's a slippery slope. But to be honest, that shit don't matter. Do people in Flint, Michigan still have clean drinking water?
Nope. The water's still dirty as hell. Last my check.
It's bigger fish to fry. You know what I'm saying? Black folks ain't got reparations yet. We worried about Roe v. Wade.
I know.
Joe Biden can't keep stable on a bike. Our economy is crashing. You know. And I don't mean us in the sphere. I mean us as Americans.
Well, I think it's going to be a culture shift. I think that because I'm hearing high school girls say that they're getting scared of having sex now that this is going away.
Are you in the educational field?
No, I just was having conversations in Clubhouse and other places.
Okay, I was just like, how are you encountering high school age girls?
Oh, you're trying to shame me? I get it.
I'm just saying.
No,
Yeah.
No, I hold a lot of different conversations. I've probably been in 6 rooms today in Clubhouse while working.
No, I understand that. Yeah, definitely. So no, continue. I want to hear about the sentiment from the high
No,
school,
it's
from
just
the
a
younger.
lot of them of different ages were saying how horrified it is, and I think that it's causing a cultural change. I think women are going to go back to the radio days of not wanting to get caught out there and not being able to fix their problem or have to go to another state to fix their problem. Uh, that's what I think, and I think that even with guys, when some guys are faced with the bill, or maybe they got to get confronted about that 5Gs or 9Gs that you got to pay. I think that's going to change a lot of things.
We'll have to see that. I mean, there's a lot of folks being confronted with having to pay the fees now. We're already having to struggle with it. I think that's going to be the immediate crux. Is going to be an uptick in child support versus.
Well, you got to remember these are subsidized fees right now. These are subsidized. These ain't the full amount. So the amount they paying now are federal dollar aided. When you get the whole bill, it's what a couple of weeks is 1,500. But if you mess around and wait 12, 13 weeks, because most people don't know until like 5 weeks. So 5 weeks is almost 5Gs.
Damn.
And 12 weeks is anywhere from 4 to 9G.
This is the whole bill. This isn't the subsidy bill.
12 to 13 weeks is 4 to 9Gs, depending on what state you're in.
This is the full bill, correct?
Yeah, the full bill.
Okay. Bill. I was like, wait, I know a dude paying like $60, but you're talking if they not subsidized.
Not subsidized, brother.
Okay.
The full bill. Because you got to remember that doctor's fee is because, okay, so, and here's a funny thing. I didn't know this until I started working in billing too. You're paying the doctor's fee, but then if a doctor uses a hospital that's not his own, you got to pay what's called a building fee.
What?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So if you go to your doctor and he got a little place on Apple Street, and you go there all the time, okay, that's great. But the minute you have to have a surgery and a doctor's like, well, I can't do it here. We got to take you to another facility. You're going to be paying the anesthesia fee. You're going to be paying the building fee. And then you're going to pay the doctor's fee. Now, the doctor might say, well, I'm going to waive my fee. That don't matter because the building fee sometimes is more than the doctor's fee.
Damn. Well, you just learned me something.
It's a real thing, man. It ain't, it ain't what people think it is. So I don't know. It's going to be a culture change, brother. Because look, I tell everybody, tricking is going to start going up at a high stage. As much as black men don't like the thought of tricking, I'm sorry. You got people sugar babying it up right now. Fresh and Fit got caught sugar baby. Everybody's sugar baby. But guess what? They ain't having no child support cases. They ain't having no child support discussions. And look, however people want to do what they do, I'm just telling you, ain't no escort ever took you to child support court.
Hey, but if you think about it, I covered this research months ago. I think it was this year. I do so much content, I just don't keep up the times when I do them. But and people understand, even New York, they kind of start being lenient now with the prostitution thing. And now with this, I wouldn't be surprised if certain states now say, they're going to have to make alternate ways for dudes to get their nut off instead of dealing with sex bots in their hand.
Let me tell you what's happening in sugar baby world. It's less than prostitute. Okay. So in sugar baby world, you got chicks that just want somebody to pipe her on a regular basis. But yes, she wants some type of gift. So let's assume you giving this chick $200 or $400 every time y'all connect. Oh yeah, y'all gonna go to dinner. You're gonna laugh, talk, and y'all gonna smash. You ain't gonna see her again for another couple of weeks. Hey, you want to connect again? You're gonna smash again. You're gonna get tired of her. You're gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna go on a business trip, or I ain't doing nothing right now. Okay, no problem. Month later, you ready to reconnect again? And after your third or fourth time smashing, you're gonna be like, I don't even care about this shit no more. You're gonna be like, this don't even matter no more. It's like, again, if you want to go out there and get a chick for free, do that. I encourage you. But my whole thing is, please understand, these laws are not playing with nobody no more. One thing can have you out here homeless, living in a tent. Y'all got to make sure you know what you're doing. I'm not going to tease you as a black man. I'm not going to make fun of you, because Asian men go to geisha houses all the time and nobody teases them. White men go to happy ending spas all the time. Nobody teases them.
They call it the rub and tug on Wall Street and in Queens.
Right. And guess what? Black men are the only ones who make fun of other black men for going to a brothel.
That's because generally we don't have the resources available to do so.
Right.
And it's more research, because black men feel that the pussy is free.
And it is. It is. But her regret will cost you money in the court case.
Yeah. Or her emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
For example, if you look at like Robert Kraft, multimillionaire, right, who is an NFL team owner, went to, like you said, Mr. Research, the happy ending, right? And it's because they have resources and families and images to protect. So they go there to get, the treatment that they might not want to, or the activity that they might not want to do with their love. They go to do the nasty shit, if you will. Excuse my language.
Right.
And it's not frowned upon, because they're like, okay, well, you wanted to do, that thing where, you're swinging from the chandeliers or whatever. And, that's not quantity. You don't want to leave that stain upon, your wife. So,
sir, let's cut to the chase. They expunged Robert Kraft's criminal record.
Yeah.
They wiped his criminal record.
Yeah. Well, he's got the money to be able to have that done.
Deshaun Watson has settled with all his accusers. There's only 4 left.
Weren't there like 60 women?
Yes, sir. And he settled with all his accusers. There's only 4 left.
Resources. Because now all them checks are paid, they're gone.
As if it never happened.
This is true. So yeah, I didn't even think about that bill hitting and everything. So the resources, like you said, is an issue why in the Black community men are ostracized for. Also, we're looked at as having the game, because it's generally we're sought out as sexual objects. Right? When we look at, let's look at the dating and mating hierarchy. We look at it and we see that black men are more desired for dating than black women. There's a reason for that. We are exotic, and it's the mandingo fantasy. I'll give you a prime example. When I was younger, in my teens, we used to rampage white girls, right? We used to do this thing. Me and my homeboy, we used to call plays. So I'd see him, I'd be like, yo, you want to run a 2-3? What that meant was that me and him was going to take this white chick home from the Milford Rec, which was an arcade, and we was going to run a triz. Or if there was more, then we'd be like, hey, the 3-4, if it was 2 girls or whatever. And the ease of it was there had to be no money because they wanted to be able to make daddy mad. So we'd have them drive us everywhere in their Monte Carlos and, raid their father's beer cabinets and all that stuff. Why? Because also the way we're raised is to treat our women and put our women on pedestals, even more than Latin men. So that's why we look at it as you shouldn't have to pay for it because we're the commodity, right? Our sex is the commodity. Just like black women are the commodity and they're exotic to white men, Asian men, Latin men, and others. Well, we are the exact same to women. Even more so are we hypersexualized. And then even if you look at our entertainment, our music, and not just rap, but if you look at the music produced or put out by black men, the content of our music, you would think that black men do 2 things and 2 things only, and that's sell cocaine and have sex. And that's all that it seems to be pushed out from us. So this Roe v. Wade decision is either going to be a hell of a lot more cocaine fiends or a hell of a lot more broke men doing crime. Because in the impoverished areas, dudes can't afford to pay off. Fuck 60 chicks. Dudes can't afford to pay chicks $60.
Yep. But now that Young Thug is about to go away to jail for life, thugging is dead. Thugging is a joke at this point.
You think he's really going to go for life?
Oh, got allegedly, according to what the lawyer said in open court, he has people who have signed, notice, not said, signed affidavits to go against him, but they scared for their family.
Wow.
He said this in open court. It's on my channel, Chaos. Yeah, he said this in open court. He said, Your Honor, we have several who have already signed. Key word here, signed. Now, I can see if he said willing to, or no, he said signed. You gone.
Signed affidavits, yeah, that's
you gone just like those dudes who thought 6ix9ine was they pet Mexican.
Can I interject something real quick, Mr. Research and Chaos? Only because this is my field when I talk about insurance and financial services and investments, right? I'm a CRC, soon to be a CRC, Certified Retirement Counselor. And I actually did the math on this. So Young Thug and Gunna got indicted with $1 million and 28 dudes. If you do the math and divide that $1 million by the 28 dudes, that's $35,000 a dude. So basically they all got a job for $17 an hour at McDonald's. I did a report showing the Colombian cocaine cartel hid $80 million of Colombian cocaine money in life insurance policies, and this was 5 dudes. One dude got indicted in San Francisco for moving 13 tons, not kilos, tons of cocaine a week. And again, our music and our content is full of dudes who basically had a job making $17 an hour at McDonald's with Young Thug and Gunna. And so I just find it so odd. I actually did a stream on it called Fel Chapo, because so many of our artists want to be El Chapos. But when you mention stuff like that, and then they've got signed affidavits, that shit's crazy. It is going to be a spectacle to see when people like that, what are they going to resort to? Because now, the honest man who's making an honest living, like I was having a conversation with my niece today. She's in her early 20s, mid-20s, 25. And she's got 2 children. And she's like, yo, I can't find a job out here. I've been looking for the last 2 months. I done put in 100 applications. I'm damn near ready to go try and rob somebody. And I'm like, this is coming from a woman.
Oh, is it your niece?
Yes.
How old is she?
25.
Oh fuck! She might resort to what do you call it? What do you call those things? The boot, stealing clothes or some shit. I don't
know. What do they call it? Boosters.
Yeah, boosting. Yeah. There's a lot of them here.
Yeah, I don't think she'll be good at boosting. She has her own little clothing. She got this little clothing line that she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay,
hopefully that'll do something for her. But I look at that, and then I look at the fact that, again, when dudes are getting hit with, like you said, the full bill that's not going to be subsidized, because something's going to have to change for this Roe v. Wade, because there is going to be an influx of births, right? Births are still going to happen, and what's going to happen is now that, the little, now that 14-year-old, Rhonda and 15-year-old, Jerome, they're just kids. They were in summer heat, and Jerome got Rhonda pregnant. Well, they used to be able to abort that baby, but now she can't. So now what happens? If there is a father in the picture to tell, Jerome, look, you got to step up to the plate and take care of, my daughter or my grandchild and my daughter, or, you got to, hey, take care of my grandchild from the father's side, what have you. What pressure is it going to be? We already look at the economy tanking. What pressures are there going to be on people to survive? So we got to look at the larger picture. Yeah, that small case of the babies, and like even my wife and I were having a conversation, and she brought it to the extremes of rape. But I was like, screw that. Look at the extremes of shit. Even stuff like family health history, right? Where like I got medical conditions. I have a muscle deteriorating disease apparently that I didn't know about for 36 years until I met my father. Right?
okay.
So little stuff like that is going to hopefully be knocked out of the way, because there will be, maybe now we'll have like the forced marriages happening again, but something's gonna have to uptick greatly, or we're just gonna have a boatload of people suffering from mass poverty. Like it's gonna go back to the 1960s, 1970s. Shit, probably history trying to repeat itself and go back to the Great Depression of the 1930s and the 2030s. I mean, we've already repeated history with the Spanish flu. I mean, CV-19, and having to wear masks from 1920 to about 1924. Here it is, 2023, and we still have to wear masks.
We got too many people on the planet. We've never had many people on the planet.
Yeah.
So the Mother Earth, whether it be a virus, you just mentioned it, whether it be storms, whatever, Mother Nature wipes people out. The Mother Nature looks at humans as a virus. We do not naturally conform like the animals do on this planet. We create poison, we create a lot of crap. Then we move to another location and knock down those trees. We don't go to a place we've already messed up. We go knock down those trees and then form some more buildings and some more companies. So at some point in time, we're going to come up with these problems. Just like you as a married man, you didn't know you had a condition, but now you have a teammate at least. We got a lot of people out here, male and female, still living the hot girl, hot boy life. And you one medical away from being told XYZ.
Yeah.
And you got to deal with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's true.
All right. Wait. Someone's trying to come into the room. Let me see what this is. All right. Who is Black Messiah?
Yeah, what's up, brother?
All right, good. Have you listened to the stream lately? Earlier?
Say what?
Have you been listening to the stream?
Just for about 30 minutes now, just for a little bit.
So you missed a lot. Okay, well, you know the title of the stream. What's your take on it?
Really, honestly, and I'm being honest, I've never really took an interest into this whole case, so I'm trying to figure out, other than just saying abortions weren't legal, now they're illegal. I really don't understand the significance of it. I'm really trying to understand of it. I really don't get the significance of it at all. And what I mean by that is, like, I understand that now, females not having the option to have abortion. You know what I'm saying? That could cause a problem. But like, what's really the trip about it to brothers? Because like they weren't getting abortions as it is. That's why so many brothers is out here, you know what I'm saying, with child support, and so many sisters out here with children that they can't support. They weren't getting abortions as it was.
Well, we don't know yet how it's going to affect men, because the states now can pass laws. So let's assume that women feel like, oh my God, this is happening. Then you can see women pass Proposition LL, which will financially do whatever to any man who's accused of this pregnancy that this woman can't abort. And guess what? If you're living in that state and it passes, you too will have that situation happen.
What's the LL?
So when people create propositions are more powerful than a vote. So if what's the other brother's name? Chaos?
Alonzo.
So me and Alonzo put together $20 million each.
Mm-hmm.
We can put any bill on the ballot. Any bill.
Mm-hmm.
And if it passes, it now becomes law. It doesn't matter if you and Chaos voted for a law earlier that year. Mm-hmm. If our proposition passes, now that proposition is law. Mm-hmm. So that's how easy it is for anybody with millions of dollars to burn to make something happen in their state.
I was thinking about a proposition, like, it might sound crazy, but I was thinking, like, why don't brothers, literally, like the proposition thing you was just talking about, why don't brothers do a thing where we write up some type of standard format for a contract that whenever you get with a woman, you can have her sign an agreement that, hey, we are agreeing that we're just having, sex, and that we're not intending to start no family. So if you end up pregnant somehow in this situation, like well, that kind of goes out the door, because they can't even abort.
They can't
even abort. That don't even make sense now. They can't even abort.
Something like that in 294, but that's never going to pass Congress, because you got guys that got daughters.
Isn't that kind of like just signing over your parental rights, though?
No, well, I mean, I feel you, but like when I thought about what I was saying, I just realized, like, they can't even abort. Like, it's not even their choice no more.
Yeah.
You're never going to have it pass any courtroom. The best move you can do, if somebody gets pregnant, is you go to your paralegal and you pay them to write up a document similar to what you're talking about, and you give it to her lawyer. You can't ask her to sign it, because by doing that, she can claim that she was intimidated by you. So
it's kind of weird how it makes you kind of think, because now it's like, for men, it really is you the one making the decision if you decide to go up in a female without a condom. It's like,
but this is what I've been trying to tell black men. I know it don't sound good, because everybody believes they're pimps. But either you need to lock it down with one woman, or you need to start tricking, because free vagina is going to keep betraying you over and over and over. I've never had some of these child arguments, because when I deal with a chick, it's either for the long term or we got a sexual understanding. I do not try to run game on chicks. I do not. No. You need to fully have your eyes open on what you're doing. And guess what? I'm going to record for my safety.
Is there anything in this Roe versus Wade law that holds the women accountable for having, unprotected sex and having children that they can't support financially if the father's around, having children out of wedlock? Is there anything in it that holds them accountable for what they're doing?
No. And guys got to stop, in my view, Guys got to stop looking for the legal system to make these women accountable. Until we see women on the battlefield with a rifle, you'll never see them truly accountable.
Right. Right. So it's just about to be a clusterfuck for a minute till we figure out how to deal with it.
No, I think women are going to start getting scared, and they're going to start having less sex with random dudes, and they're going to start having strategic sex. It's going to be dudes who either got paper, dudes who got a sexual situation, or they're going to do what so many Instagram chicks do. They're going to start sugar babying it up.
But ain't this situation ain't it the same for them? Like I said, like most of these females aren't getting pregnant by these dudes and running and getting abortions. They're having the babies and then they're just talking about child support. Like it's not really gonna change the situation for them, right? Like they don't have nothing to worry about. They just gonna keep doing what they've been doing.
Yeah, they can keep doing what they're doing, but
it's just gonna fall on us.
I think it's gonna fall on them more, because if you're not able to abort and it's your third or your seventh time, that stuff's ass up, because only 1/3 of the male community is actually suffering from these child support issues.
Right.
The rest of the dudes are either tricking, overseas, or just got enough money where they lawyer tight. So anytime a chick come around, they just throw a lawyer at a chick like a pit bull. Only 1/3 of the dudes are actually suffering from this.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a good question, Mr. Research. Can I hear these dudes saying about more than half the black male population here in the West are what they call single and childless? What medium range, from if you really look into the numbers, is the average a man will have a child first time? Because I've posed this question a few times. If anybody watched my content, never gave me a actual answer. I never look into it, but I think there's a medium to everything, and not all where it falls like 40 and 50. It has to be a certain range.
I was going to say 40, but probably 35 if you ask me.
Everybody I know that had children, including myself, my cousins, all my friends, it was around that 21.
Yeah, but remember, but hold on, Black Messiah, you born in the 80s. I'm talking about now for the last 10 years.
Yeah. I'm about to say it. So Messiah is right, and also Zoe, it happened in phases. There was one point in time where it was the younger in school, high school pregnancies. Okay. Then that started drying up because most of those dudes started dating older chicks at a savage rate. Then when you went into the 90s, it was the 30s dude. But then again, I've done events in Atlanta where I've had people at college tell me, no, I don't date college girls. I date professionals. I date 30s and 40s. So now
and they're in college.
Wait. So now you look at the birth father rate is very low from what it was in 2010. So the culture has changed. Guys are not really getting chicks pregnant at the high school level the way they used to, or the college level. To Lonzo's point, it's the 30, 40 plus crowd, and it's not a lot of them.
Okay. Because it makes me want to say, how long are they going to hold this number that is going to be, well, in my opinion, it eventually might have to go up now because of certain rules that's been put now in the environment we're in now. But I always think it back in mind, said, okay, if it's only a small portion of these dudes, right, that's not going these ladies, right? Now that this is now put to that's laid out for all of us now, that it's probably going to be very more selective now. You get me?
You're probably going to see a lot more age gap dating. So you're going to see a lot more younger women actively pursuing older men because they're going to be like, look, financially, swag is nice, but I know that a guy at 20, if I'm doing a medical residency and I'm 27 and he's doing a medical residency, I need the guy who's 44 who's already a doctor, who can pay my medical bills and still get me some red bottoms. So like you said, they're going to be more strategic. But even you said this in the past, Chaos, the younger generation are having less sex. So this is probably even going to have less of an effect because dudes are going home playing Call of Duty, turning on Pornhub, and calling it a night.
Yeah.
Crap. And what's happening in the middle class and upper class, they're calling sugar babies over at a high rate. I'm not just talking about me. I'm talking about dudes I interact with do not care because they're paper tight. Mm-hmm. They don't care like that. They're not trying to date. They getting on ordering chicks like McDonald's. Chicks is coming through and they right back to the money.
I don't know, like as a, my particular style, I don't feel like, man, you say high value, man, like to mess with chicks that's like prostitutes.
Yeah, of course. Why not? They got the money.
Well, okay.
That's all they do is fuck. Like, how can you value yourself and you like to get in something that's literally like doing nothing but having sex for a living? How can you value yourself? And that's how you get down. You want to have sex with something that literally is out here having sex all day, every day for a living.
I totally get you, Messiah. But here's the problem with your theory. Asian men out doing the same crap. White men, same crap. Latino men, 50% yes, 50% same crap. I get what you're saying, and I'm not condoning it. I'm saying to you, the people that run the world that's about this money and about making things, they could care less.
I feel you.
And I'm not saying it's a valid thing to get what's up. What's the difference now from a girl you meet on Instagram or a girl you meet at the club? But she's trying to be an OnlyFans chick.
Plus, there's levels to it, right? And you're not talking about $100 holler, right? We're talking about a $5,000 weekend type that you're going to take to a gala. They're going to there's an experience with it, right? This ain't the chick that you go knock on the door, throw $100, throw on the rubber, and smash. This is something, where you might see her at the Met Gala, right? And she's going to dress appropriately and fill the position, right? She knows that she's not just there for a screw. She might need to be there for eye candy, right? Because you may need to go to an event where you have someone on your arm, things like that. So that's the type he's talking about when he says escort, not $100 hour.
Also, let me bring down the price a little bit. I interacted with a chick a couple of years ago. She was a $400 chick, but her thing was she liked to have sex. The boyfriend thing wasn't really working out for her. She wanted somebody stable to deal with on a sexual level, so she wouldn't have to be out there. So how about that? She wanted somebody who didn't have money problems when we went to go have dinner. And I'm not pandering to this girl. She's not my girlfriend, but it's like, hey, I'm going to a salsa dancing. Oh, I can't go this time, but you know what? Next time you go, let me know. That's how our thing was. And then afterwards, we smash a couple of times, 3:00 in the morning. Hey, I'm going to go home. Okay, cool. We had a friendship. So what I'm saying is the culture is going to change, and it might not change the way I'm talking about.
That's definitely going to be
to some degree, because when a woman has to keep her second and third baby and her friend is seeing that, her friend is now scared. Her cousin is now scared. Nobody wants to be on their seventh baby. So if you like having sex, you might want to go get with somebody and be their second wife, or you might want to go get with somebody and chill out. All the boring dudes might start being attractive now. All the short and fat dudes might start being a possibility now, because you're being told you got to keep this kid.
Yeah,
but to Black Messiah's point, I see what you're saying, because he's like, they kind of already are keeping them. But what he's saying is the rate is going to go so much higher. And they might keep the third baby, but you didn't see the first two they had at 14 and 15. You only see the first one she has at 19, or the first one she has at 21. But now the baby she had the 4 years leading up to that, from 17 to 21. Right. Now she got to keep those. So now that scares her sister from being 17, having her first baby or pregnancy. Is that kind of what you're saying, Mr. Research?
Yeah, it's going to be scary. It's going to be scary to the women who got to watch their cousins and their friends go through this type of stuff. It's going to be.
I can't imagine a day coming where like I'm at Walmart or whatever, and I'm in the hot pursuit, the heat of the game, and I see a good looking woman, and I run up on her, and I'm trying to spit game, and she like ultimately telling me like my pussy's booked up for like 2 weeks. I'm sorry, like this
Yeah,
shit.
but no. I think you looking at that differently. So you run up to a chick who run the game, she more likely to say, "Oh, I'm good, because she's working on something for herself. She might think you're attractive and everything, but now she's like, I don't want to get caught up.
Right.
I just don't want to get caught up. And then let's say she does holler at you. You might have to be uncomfortable because one of her first conversations might be, "Hey, I just want to have fun. I don't want nothing serious." And then, "Hey, I ain't heard from you in a while. I told you I don't want nothing serious." It's going to be a culture change. I believe.
Yeah. This gonna lead to a whole lot of anal sex, nigga.
Yeah.
Wait. Before we move on with the conversation, if you didn't catch stream earlier, I said this earlier. Black Messiah. People are gonna find other ways to get their rocks off without procreating or creating life. Personally, and listen, brother. People are eating booty like the groceries right now. So anything regardless, if you eating shit, engage in the Hirsch Highway is last of my concern. Personally, and I advocate most people don't do it, but you know how human beings are. They're gonna be exploring and experiment with a lot of weird shit. So wait, I see somebody in the let me see.
Chaos. I just paid $5 for a box of soup crackers to go with my soup.
Okay.
It's about to get hard out here.
Yeah, that's good. That really is good. These young need to be by themselves for a while and get all that wildness out, y'all. Oh, yeah.
I be thinking people don't be really taking human nature seriously. Like, man, I don't care what the consequence is. People just can't resist like sex. Like they gonna fuck regardless. I don't know, man. I'd like to see that because you're dealing with kids.
Right, like we look at some of those statistics of like the childless fathers, and we look at the 51%, but a lot of these are even going as young as people 15 years of age.
Right.
Well, now with the getting rid of the ability to delete babies, those situations are now going to increase.
But check this out, man. Like, think about it. People really feel like the society is going to be scared of, not being able to get rid of babies. But like, AIDS didn't even stop motherfuckers from fucking.
Yeah.
And that's TVs and AIDS didn't even stop. Didn't even slow motherfuckers down from fucking.
AIDS did stop people, but when they start having somewhat of a needle that would kind of taper off the side effects, people start feeling good. Let AIDS come back to the point where the drugs don't work as good.
I don't know. Cause I remember back in the day when that conversation, AIDS and the STDs and everything came out, and it just didn't really stop nothing, man.
I tried to invest in something called an AZT pill back in the early 90s. And it was one of my first investments I looked into that I messed up on because the shares were like for $100. And after about 6 months, that thing shot up to 12 G's. And I was so mad. But the AZT pill didn't stick because it had a temporary of cure. It was like a temporary thing. So my point is, when Magic Johnson came along and he started having all these different types of needles and food regimens and workout, then people for the first time got to see, okay, I can deal with it. But then I ran into a coworker. He was a gay dude. This dude in 2007 had full-blown AIDS. He had to take probably like, don't want to exaggerate. At least 7 or 8 pills a day. All his friends stopped talking to him. He lived a lonely, depressing life. He used to constantly tell me how depressed he was. And this is somebody who was life of the party. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know whatever happened to the guy because, he never came back to work. I don't know if he died in his room. I don't know what happened. But you got to understand, sex is a gift, and we use it like a dirty table we found in a recreational park. You know what I'm saying? We think that laying a piece of plastic on that dirty table is really gonna stop something, but that's what we're doing. So that's why we're gonna have to get somewhere. I think Chaos should do this probably after 2 years. Do a revisit on this, because I think the culture by then is the numbers are gonna start changing. You see, Texas is already doing the bounty hunter thing, where they're paying people to snitch on doctors who are performing it.
You think there's going to be an appeal on this?
You can't appeal the Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court, you can't appeal. Once the Supreme Court makes this, it's final.
Oh shit, that's crazy. But still, like, even with the females, I don't see them really like. I'm trying to figure it out in my head, because like I said, I just don't see that change. But especially if there's nothing in the law that's going to hold females accountable or some type of consequence to it, I see them just looking at, hey, this is something that the men got to worry about. Like, this y'all, like, ain't nothing changed for us.
Yeah, I think they will pass it on to the men more so. But what is that going to cause with the men? The whole "don't get them pregnant" movement will come back hard.
I'm about to jump on the game, and I'm about to start putting out some training manuals and teach people how to motherfucking get their pull-out game up to par.
We'll see. Work it out.
Teach them how to train, like how to really get that pull-out game on top.
Yeah. Females that do messy top, they my number one priority. I don't even need the badge. You keep that.
Right.
Sloppy.
Hey, but they gonna get tired of that.
Well, you gotta understand, Black Messiah, because you kind of advocate the pull-out thing, and you have this conversation with other ladies about this. And I tell you, most brothers, as much times I say don't attempt these type of behaviors, because let's be honest, you get in that pussy and it's gonna be so good, you're just gonna be locked in, my nigga. Only a few men have the strength to pull out, and most niggas fail every time, especially the right chick in the right position. Sometimes you feel like you're about to pull it, and Miss Shay, she wrap your legs, say, "Where you going, nigga?"
Right. Hey, come in me. You be like, oh.
I
we used to have
if
this
in some
YouTuber
way
from
that's what it results in.
Called Brother Man or something like that. And he was on Maury Povich. He's been on a couple of things. Man, that man got 4 kids now. He used to talk
the pull-out method.
He used to talk that pull-out stuff. He was from LSU. Got 4 kids now.
Those are the times he didn't pull out, right?
Right, you gotta really have some hardcore training with that, man. You think you good at it, but then you be trying to wait to the last minute. You gotta go ahead and teach motherfucker, like, even come close to that, go ahead and take that thing out and finish yourself off and have her do something. Don't be sitting there trying to go hard and then try to time it perfectly and shit.
Yeah, man, I understand it. This nigga sit there pumping and up a long stroke it and up here say, you about to reach the threshold. So, man, I got one more stroke in me, and that last stroke said,
be tripping and shit. Now, man, you need don't wait till you come close to you about to bust. Now you come out about a whole minute. Don't even come to that point. But then you got to think about it. Yeah.
Backside. Let's be honest. Most of these dudes that watch a whole lot of podcasts, Americans watch that bullshit. I don't give a fuck what they say. I say y'all not watching and learn from these fucking stars. If y'all paying attention, you don't see them sit there and they wait, they pull out, and then eventually they let her finish them off or some shit.
Bro, that shit is so extra film. They be finishing in them girls so often, and then they do another track where sometimes it be beforehand. That's how you get the thick loads before they end up doing the real deal.
But it's, you got to think at the same time. Now that you know, when you start feeling you even close to that, now that you know, if any bit of that get in there, nigga, it's guaranteed child support. Niggas they gonna up their game. That threat of
like
if
I said,
like it's this gonna up that game a little bit.
You know, we go see 2 to 4 years, man, because that's going.
Right now they can make excuses like, oh, I'll just go get a plan B, or she can get an abortion. But now that there's no option, it's a guaranteed. If I fuck up, she gonna be pregnant, and it's just no stopping it. Dudes are gonna tighten up real good.
They better. That's the only option.
I just hope the guys are ready.
And they're gonna be investing in it. They're gonna be investing in those spermicides and anything else that they can do to help themselves out.
I just don't want guys to assume that it's gonna be a they situation. The white man has a tendency to pass laws against men anytime they pass laws against women.
What you mean?
Say that again?
Like what you saying? What can do to follow?
Throughout history, when they ask women, let's say the last one was welfare, where they said you're gonna have to show proof that you've been working or whatever the case may be, right? They passed a law that child support went across state lines. Child support never went across state lines. It was only state to state. So if you was in one state and then you moved to another, it never followed. But on the week that they passed that, well, not the week, the 4 months after they passed that law, saying women are going to have to show proof of work in order to get child support, they sat up here and passed that law, and they passed it through E-Verify, through Obamacare's E-Verify. They passed that law through E-Verify. They went state to state.
I feel like there's all type of other stuff attached to this. Like it's gonna lower the sex, lower the childbirth. It might turn around and cause people to get together and hook up and get married and stay together or something. Like it's a whole lot of stuff that you really can't tell if it's gonna be bad or good. It might make the females more responsible. It might make might make both of us more responsible. It might make people hook up and get in serious relationships more often. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think we're gonna see that for a couple of years, but I believe you.
Hey, Lonzo might be writing a book, How to Stay Married for a While. And Messiah writing a book. Pull out now.
Hell yeah.
It come. You get a discount if you buy them in the double hard copy.
Right. Yeah.
Who popped up?
Mary, what's up?
Let me see if if you could unmute Mary. See how it goes. Yeah, because you're using something. I don't know why it's giving a hard time.
Who is it? Who is that?
Yeah, because I was Mary.
I got you.
What was the push to overthrow the original decision?
What do you mean?
Like why 50 years later?
Yeah.
What do you mean the push?
Like right now, why was this case even brought back up, and like why did they overturn it? Like what was somebody it was the what you call it, the pro-life people?
Nobody brought it up. He just wrote an opinion. He just out the blue wrote an opinion. And after he wrote the opinion, everybody was like, you bullshitting. You trying to write the opinion so it can be reconsidered. No, I'm not. Boy, stop. And then next thing you know, they secretly reconsidering it. I knew something was funny when he was like, we're gonna find out who leaked the opinion.
Because I remember back in the day when people were always talking about these conspiracies about how like the 1%, wanted to get rid of a certain amount of the population, and that's these diseases and stuff, and it's like that had to have been a lie, because they wouldn't have let this go down if they was really trying to decrease the human population on Earth, because this is gonna boom it.
Yeah, you got to remember, this is just America, really. I mean, other people are doing.
Well, we got to look at their birth rate too. If we're looking at Caucasians, and they're less than, they're not replacing one death with one life. So for them, this is a boom, right? For us, maybe not, because maybe it'll help our population, since over the past couple of 100 years we haven't gone above 15%, and we keep getting diluted. But now, the Caucasian birth rate is basically why this was reversed, so that the Caucasian birth rates can increase, because they're having heavy.
All right, guys.
Still,
I have Mary on here because he had a hard time getting on. But go ahead, speak, Mary.
How y'all doing?
All right.
Okay, now I'm just I'm just listening to the conversation right now. I don't have nothing to add just yet.
All right, so like with Black women, we have skewed statistics in Black America already. Like I said, we're at 15% of the population of the country. Globally, yes, Black people are the most populous person or phenotype on the planet.
Yeah.
But in America, we're not. In America, we've been relegated to 15% for, I don't know, the last 200 years. Max of 15%, between 11 and 15.
From last century.
Yeah. Definitely for the last century, we've been between 11 and 15%. Before that, we were like 18. And then when the slavery was abolished, we were about 50%, which is why everybody who got let in suddenly became white. But I don't know. I think it might be to increase Caucasian birth rates.
That seems weird for one reason. It's like this state country, and I just couldn't see white folk or whoever having to pass a law to convince white folk to do what needs to be done to save their life. Like I feel like that's something white men and white women would have had an agreement, alone in a White House. They would have said, hey, look, our numbers are down, and they would just agree that, yeah, we're gonna start pumping them out. They wouldn't have had to pass no law to convince white women to stop having abortions when it comes down to the saving their race.
Yeah, but I mean, we have those same issues in the Black community. It's just it's in a more of a microscope, right? But with the white community, the prime example, right? We look at things like welfare, and we use let's say we use blackface as the face of welfare, when statistically it's impossible, right? There are approximately 40 million white people on public assistance. There are approximately 43 million people who identify as Black in the country of America itself. So 20% of the population of white people, 200 million Americans, is 100% of the population of Black people, of 43 million Americans. So a lot of these statistics get way overskewed and way imbalanced because they weight our numbers drastically more with such a small amount of the population. I mean, it's even like Jews account for 51% of the reported hate crimes, but 2% of the American population.
Well, you're always going to have Black people skewed. It's like what I tell white people. Show me where it says Blacks committed in the FBI statistic. The word committed doesn't exist. What they're talking about is arrest, but you can be arrested for anything. The convictions for Black people is 1/5 of the criminal report, yet arrests are like 2/3.
Right.
So let me say it again: 2/3 arrests, but 1/5 convictions. Especially since Black dudes stopped copping pleas.
Yep.
Black dudes stopped copping pleas. The conviction rate plummeted.
Exactly.
And so you always go on that. Even what you just said about 15%. When you look on the CDC report, it has Black people who are mixed and Black people of Hispanic. We're actually 26%, but they have separated Black from Black of mixed, and Black of mixed came around in like 2008, 2006. It wasn't even on the report prior to that because I worked at the CDC in 2001, 2002.
Oh, wow.
I'm so skeptical about
YouTube came around. Okay.
Somebody was saying something.
No, you've been working since before they established your YouTube in 2005, 2006.
Oh yeah. Because I've been in Atlanta since '97. I worked at Emory, and then CDC was on Clifton. It's up the street from Emory, so I started working up there.
I'd be skeptical about the stats because I'm Black nationalist at heart, and I just don't feel like, for instance, like now you let me know, like if let's say our population was actually booming. Let's say the Black population was actually bigger than the Mexican population and starting to become bigger than the white population. Like they would never tell us that.
True.
I don't see how we believe that we can trust stats when the system has always tried to give us misinformation that, like I don't see how we trust stats,
We're gonna have to become managers and owners. We're gonna have to do what the 1950 guys did. And we're going to have to start taking over parts of industry, not as service workers, but as dictators.
Yeah.
Oh, before you guys continue, come on, let me move on. Tell people the likes are free. Please keep the likes going as y'all comment, hit the like button. Share this as well. And if you want to donate, the Cash App is displayed right here. Y'all continue.
And then have you heard recently the word going around that we about to head into another recession?
Yeah.
Within like 18 months or something like that?
Well, we've been on that trajectory. Generally, you're going into a recession when you're in a recession like 4 out of 5 quarters or in an economic downslide. We've been in an economic downslide, to be honest, for quite some time. Did we ever really recover from 2008?
No, we didn't recover from.
Come on, guys. Before you continue, Mr. Research, do you want to have any closing remarks?
Yeah, I got to bounce. We didn't repair from Dick Cheney, folks. Because you got to remember, Clinton left us with a surplus of money. Dick Cheney gave most of it to Halliburton.
Yeah.
My final thoughts is this, man. Whether you agree with me or any of the speakers, dig into the policy. Go on Congress.gov and start reading these laws just out of habit so that you can be well informed, and that way you know that what the TV is telling you is false.
Right.
Talk to y'all later, man. Peace.
All right, brother.
Peace, brother.
That can research. All right. Let me see. Mary, do you want to say anything?
Because I want to piggyback off of something Mr. Research said. This is what I was explaining to BGS about, population. The term population is an economic term. This is why they're going to do whatever they have to do to keep the population going because, everybody who's born, they own some of the debt. Men, women, you see what I'm saying? Children. So, it's all about getting those numbers up, man. And it's also too it's white supremacy reconstituting itself. This has been going on ever since the election of Barack Obama. White society really went on alert with the election of Barack Obama. And this is why I've been going at BGS, giving his old ass that work. But what he's doing, he's actually convincing these guys to align with their own future subordination and oppression without even realizing it. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, like these things aren't necessarily good for us. See, what we want to pretend as if what's destabilizing our family is the same thing that's destabilizing this white man's family, and it's not that. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, I'm not surprised by this, and it's a lot of stuff going on, man. Like, and you would think, and that's the thing. Like right now, everybody wants to gender bang when not even reading TV. Like you see it, like with Dylan Roof, this latest white boy up there at that time. What was that? And was that New York? I can't remember where that was at.
I mean, Gunner. Anybody else name? Anyway, I don't know the guy's name.
I forgot what. I think that was that. That was
Gunner. Somebody, yeah.
You know, so they've been on alert. They've been on alert ever since then. So this isn't good for us. They think it's good for us because they're identifying with this white man because he's a man. He's a male and they're a male because they niggas don't understand. See what I'm saying? And really too, I mean, it's really about to get hot for a lot of guys because you go out there shooting up the club, making these babies. I think you can sit there and talk that dumb shit you've been talking like you're really about that action. Because now you're not gonna have that get out of child support free card. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
While they sitting there celebrating,
you said get out of child support free card. Where they get those at? What you mean?
The cancellation clinics.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, "Hold on, I need one of them."
Yeah, how much them motherfuckers cost?
Yeah.
Well, you know, see, this gets me into financial planning again, man. And this goes back to something Mr. Research was saying, even when he was saying the wealthier guys trick off. Man, they even plan for shit. Like, they plan for families that they don't have yet. So in their 20s, they already got estate plans and financial plans established because in the hood, we think about we may think of a vacation next year, but these guys are thinking 20, 30, 40, 50 years in the future. Shit, look at shit like the Louisiana Purchase or the Panama Canal, something that they did in the 1800s that they had the purchase transaction going back and changing in the year 2000. We got to start making decisions and moves in 10, 20, 30-year decisions instead of 10, 20, 30 minutes. And as black men, then we will understand that might be a reason why this dude wrote that opinion 50 years later after a law.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You feel that the taking away the abortions got anything to do with the losses behind the pandemic, trying to repopulate?
Yeah.
No. In my opinion, they were going to do this anyway. They're just waiting for the right time, opportunity. Because let's be honest, as much times either we care about the numbers or not, these people got the actual numbers. I tell niggas this many times. What they put out here for the public is not in the private. They know the real numbers, what's going on here. They already can project with future performance where things are going. So they have to make like anything an executive order. And that's what they're doing right now. And right now, for most people that's not going to be able to adjust, you have decisions to make. And you're going to adjust anyway because there's loose behavior, flaunting your, wombs and stuff, that those days are done in certain states. Now, I'm not saying most women are going to find alternate ways to get rid of the baby. They will, because like I said, most people have no discipline, and they're going to find any means, to get what they need in that sad abortion. But anywho, we stretch this long enough.
Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on, Cass. I do want to, because and it's
okay.
Like even the reason why the fertility rates have been declining is because you've just been seeing women exercising their reproductive choice, their reproductive options.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? That flies in the face of their whole thesis when it comes to welfare, because the welfare state has expanded, but the fertility rates have been going down. You see what I'm saying? And see all that really shows is that what these women really covet is their independence. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's what I be trying to tell these dudes. I just wanted to add that part to it.
Okay. I get it. And as the polls wind down, let me see what the polls say. Who wants to keep their babies if they got knocked up? Some said 50% said hell no. One female say 44%. Whoever said yes. So is the verdict's in? They want to bring back the termination again, but that's not gonna happen, ladies and gentlemen. You got to be smart with your sexual organs moving forward. Anyway, closing remarks, guys. Panel.
I'll go ahead and go first, man. Thank you for having me up here. Listen, the future, everybody just needs to know, make smart decisions. And at the end of the day, now, the reversal of this, I see a lot of dudes in certain spaces rejoicing, but realize that it's a double-edged sword. Because now, it falls on you. So heavy is the head that wears the crown. We want these titles of HNIC boss. Be careful what you wish for, you might get it. With that being said, wipe ass, work in progress every day, and see select. I'm out. Salute.
Salute. Alonzo Hall. Any closing remarks, Black Messiah?
Really, all I just want to say is that it really is time that Black folk really start to focus on structuring ourselves and start to kind of setting up our own social structures and institutions so that we aren't constantly, ping-ponging back and forth off of everything that's happening and everything that the greater society is doing, whether it's a recession followed by a pandemic, followed by this type of bullshit, followed by shootings, followed by another motherfucking recession. Like, we really need to structure ourselves to where we just constantly ain't motherfucking just bouncing around off of what these white folks is doing. That's really it.
All right, well said. Thank you again. All right. As always, Mary, I know you're still on there. So. Okay.
Yeah, good convo, bro. Good convo.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate you for having me up.
All right. Appreciate it. All right. And to everybody, to all those that were listening in today's stream, you know the deal. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the top notification bell for uploads and live streams here on the Chaos Reign channel. Oh, and before I give you the other links, the importance of this stream is to really, I can't say demonize what people do with their reproductive organs or what people choose to have sex and have babies. We have to be very well aware that this environment is changing, and it's changing very fast. And it's not for the sake of populating, non-white people. You know what I'm saying? They're here to preserve and keep the fertility of white life by any cost. And they don't want to fit the bill for their group of women to constantly go under the table and have some sucked out at them. They made an executive decision and said, we can't afford it and we need the numbers. That's how they look at this. Now, I see some female content creators, having their problems with this and talking about there's going to be danger to women's health and all that stuff. And I look at it and say, if your health was that concerned, you must understand what health is. You're going to have to adjust, and you're going to have to understand how your womb really works. That's the only answer. You have to adjust to everything. The environment changed, and you have to adjust to it. And I said before, nothing's going to really stop these ladies. If they really want to terminate the baby, they will do it. They'll have to go to other states, and they might have to pay out of pocket, God willing. Now, I don't want that, but like I said, if people really want something like this, they're going to do what's necessary. We're not in a depression. We are in a recession, and the recession has not stopped since 2008. How you doing, Mule Universe? Welcome. I hope you subscribe to the channel, Mule Universe. Thank you. Anyway, other links to follow me. You can follow me on Twitter at ChaosReign7, and you can now add me as a friend on Facebook, Eric Reign on Facebook, and I also have a Discord service in the About section on the YouTube channel. Join the Discord and be one of the chaos. Like anything, the world is in a chaotic order, and it takes a greater, more extreme chaos to restore the order in which the world you live in today. And that's all links. Other than that, thank y'all. Thank y'all for listening to today's stream. And like always, you know where to find me. Let the chaos reign.